All right, I'm back. So let's go ahead and dig into my jar real quick. It might not be real quick though. Oh Lord, I did forget I did that. Anyway, I don't give a fuck. Let's see. Dang, y'all. On my video I just did that, I haven't posted it yet, but I'm gonna post it first before I post this one, the chakras. I talked about my root chakra. That's crazy. It's cool though too. The chakras. So from my understanding of the chakras, well, let's say I first learned about them in like 2020, or no, they was introduced to me in like 2018 because I got a book on Kundalini. That's what I started hearing the word Kundalini a lot. Kundalini. I'm having Kundalini. So of course, me having an inquisitive mind, I was like, what is that? I wanted to, read up on it, educate myself on Kundalini. So then I had got a book about Kundalini, which obviously led to the chakras. I was like, okay, these principles, these energy centers or points up and down our spine, and the different meanings of them and things like that. So I love the whole concept. I love the principles. I loved the meanings of them, each seven. I feel like we probably have more than seven. Those probably are just the ones that we most focus on because of the spine and, going up the ladder, so to speak, starting from your root and going all the way up to your crown. It simplifies a lot of things that can be complicated if you just try to group it all together, like breaking it down into 7 good focal points. I like that, and it actually helped me a lot when trying to deal with healing. It helps you, categorize and kind of organize. I'm very organized, so I have to organize everything. And somebody might say, well, you can't organize everything. I do, okay? And I needed to organize my healing because it was so much. I had so much baggage. Okay, I was the real deal bag lady. That I had to go through each bag, basically. And let's just say the chakras are 7 bags. Yes, that helped me to organize and say, okay, we gonna go through this, and that. So I learned about them, I read about them, I got a better understanding about them, and I ended up getting like a little chart. And the chart really broke it down. Your root, hold on, let me Google so I make sure I can go in the order. Because I always get the sacral and the, I said 7. I just put 7C already. These motherfuckers know they be in people business. But that's okay. Okay, the sacral, yeah. So I always get the sacral and the solar plexus mixed up. I don't know why. But you got your root, your sacral, your solar, your heart, your throat, your third eye, and your crown. Okay? So I would definitely say my root and my sacral was like shot to motherfucking hell. Baby. And to get an understanding of exactly what that meant and how to work on it, how to heal it, how to focus on those particular areas, and I kind of did those two at the same time, because I felt those were like my weakest points, my base, my foundation, and being overly sexualized at a very early age in my life, dealing with sexual abuse at a very early age in my life, activating something in me that my 5-year-old body and mind was nowhere near ready to understand and deal with what happened, and still move forth through life without any type of emotional instability. So learning about the chakras basically gave me a good foundation, a good starting point, and a good way for me to organize my healing and deal with things in a manner that kept me conducted. Like, it was like the copper, it kept it all, instead of just, because one thing about healing is that you're never fully healed, not as long as you're breathing, because it's always something. What happens is that once you kind of go through your bags, you're mostly your bags from childhood, and you get to a certain point in your adulthood, and you go through your childhood baggage, and you get that cleared away, squared away. Now what it is as an adult, at whatever age you are at, when you decide to unpack all that shit, you walk lighter. You get rid of bags. I don't need that, I don't need that, I don't need that, I don't need that. But what also happens is that you can still get triggered. That's the tricky part. The tricky triggers. It can be something that somebody else that's not related to you can do something to you. It can trigger something from your past, and you like, damn, I thought I got over that. And it's like, no. It triggered something from your past. They don't know. You know. But now the thing is how you deal with it. Able to recognize, and then how you handle it, and then it's like how you deal with the emotional part of it, to where the triggers become less impactful, less triggering, that the hits get lighter, to where like you may be in a point in your in your healing and your triggering. You may be at a point, or get to a point in your healing, where something may at one time, if you were triggered, it may have felt like a smack on the face. You like ready to, you know what I'm saying? But it's not them, because whatever they may have done to trigger you, they probably may have been in a behavior that's not so good, and then they might not be aware or might be aware, but the issue is like it triggered your emotion from something that happened in your past, and it make you want to buck up, and all that rage and all that pain and all that trauma come back to the forefront, and you will take it out on that person, and they like, wait, they not really the person that should be getting it. They just trigger something that if the person that really deserved it was standing in front of your face, now like you seeing a whole nother person, but you putting that past person on this person's face, and you ready to knock their nose off, and that's you can't do that. Then that's when you also decide, like, because it's gonna be complete strangers that trigger you. They don't know, they just in a behavior or in a mindset. You have to learn how to control yourself. You have to learn how to not let it impact you, so then later on that same energy or spirit come back around, because that's all it be energies to come back around and test the waters to see if you still gonna respond the same way. And then the next time you so fortified, your field, your magnetic field, your fortification of your magnetic field, or your aura as they call it, is so strong it ain't even touching you. It ain't even touching you. It's like child's play. But you have to get to that point. But I think working with your chakras or working with those energy points or working with those principles definitely help you get there. It helped me a lot. Yeah, it helped me a whole lot. And so then my solar plexus, that's where your wisdom and your power is. And despite everything that I have been through in my life, my solar plexus, that's another thing, like I've always felt a strength in me. I'm talking about even when I was like at my lowest, I've still felt, and I used that to get myself up out of it. Holes I dug for myself, holes I let that people dug with me, holes I was in with people. No. I became aware of what I needed to do to hold myself accountable and my responsibility to myself, to create the world that I desired to be in. And so, in saying all that, we can go and move up to the heart chakra where it say love and healing. And my heart chakra has been, man, I always bust wide open, man. Like, I always been empathetic, and I always like feel love, even for the people that hurt me. I be feeling love for them people. I be feeling love for the world. I be feeling like love conquers all, and a lot of times I have to be careful because then I go into a fantasy state, which makes me naive, which makes me gullible, and I have to pull myself out of that fantasy and come back into reality to say, yes, operate out of love, but don't be stupid. But my heart chakra has always just been bust wide open, like overly active. Throat chakra. That's a good one for me because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, your chakra blocked. I mean, yes, I understand that language. But if you see it like as an energy point, it's where you have either not been trained or you've been drained. It's either one of them two. The lack of training, more draining. And for me, throat chakra is your communication. I used to be a terrible communicator. I communicated from my heart chakra, so everything was like an overreaction. Everything was tears. Everything was through emotions that weren't conducted, just everywhere. And I would try to express myself, or I would try to explain something, but I couldn't. I would just end up crying and just yelling and screaming because I had so much built up in me, like a volcano. So everything became like an eruption, even when I did try to communicate the simplest thing. So working with my throat chakra has been quite the journey. I think it's also been my most favorite because I love communication, because I love to speak, because I love to teach. It was important for me to be able to communicate in a way that I could reach the people that I'm communicating to, and without coming off in a certain way. I don't want to come off judgmental, even though sometimes I do and sometimes I am judging. I didn't want to come off. I used the bathroom too today. Okay. I didn't want to come off, you watch. It's not, a lot of times when you hear it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And that's key with working with your throat chakra. And I've always really been good with words and having a great vocabulary. I just couldn't get them out the way I needed to be able to get my point across without having that emotional outburst attached to it. So I'm really proud of myself and really happy, and that I'm in a place where, I can speak very well. I can speak I can get my point across very strongly without even using profanity. I like profanity. I don't have to use it though. Without raising my voice, without having a nasty tone, and without that emotional attachment. I think I got the ticket. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, I'm about to grab this bitch. Okay. Yeah. So then now I got something I can do. All right, without the tears or the emotional overreaction with my communication. So my throat chakra has been definitely my solar and my sacral and my root were definitely the most painful, the most heart-wrenching, the most where my shadow definitely lived. But my throat chakra has been my most exciting working on my throat chakra has been the most exciting for me. All of it's exciting, but my throat has been like, wow, I can talk. For a long time I couldn't. Not that I couldn't talk, I couldn't communicate well. So then moving on up to the third eye. See, my third eye, that's awareness. I definitely have always had a total sense of awareness. If anything, I would try to not be aware. I would try to turn it off and just try to fit in and be like everybody else walking around this motherfucker just, I don't know, in some state of something of unawareness. It's like they just, the lights on but ain't nobody home. It's just a body. What they call them, NPCs or something like that. A lot of that going on. And I tried to be that, and it was just like, no, boo, that's not what you're here for. You're not even built nowhere near like that. So my sense of awareness has always been strong. So my sense of awareness has always been strong. My wisdom has always been strong. It's been me trying to shut them things off so I can fit into this outside world. And it doesn't work. It didn't work because I'm denying myself, first of all, and second of all, I don't want to fit into the things out there anyway. It's not even it doesn't feel good to me to deny myself and then to try to fit in. That just doesn't even feel good. It's not natural. It's off my default. And then to have a sense of awareness is also a way you hold yourself accountable. You know, it sets the compass for your morals. It sets the compass to live righteous. It sets the compass for taking responsibility. It sets the compass for your surroundings and how you live your life and the type of people you are allowed to be in your life. So getting back to that, I like to say, getting back to my wisdom, getting back to my sense of awareness for all the years that I just tried to ignore it or cut it off has felt so good. Getting back to me has felt so good. It's like that waiting to exhale moment. That's what I've been doing a lot. When I say I've been just sitting with myself, I just been exhaling, just exhaling, like, and it's been feeling so good. My breath, my chi, my prana, and then working up to the crown chakra. They say that's the chakra of spirituality. For me, it's that go all the way down. That's me. That's just me. That's just me. Period. It ain't just my crown. It's my entire being. it's like from my crown, just, you know what I'm saying? That's my crown. That's always, I ain't never questioned it. I ain't never second guessed it. I've had moments. I remember having conversations with myself, and this is when I would be in certain type of relationships too with people, men mostly, and I'd be like, dang, I feel so disconnected from my spirit. Where's my spirit? And I would be longing for my spirit, and I wouldn't feel it around, and that would make me so depressed, and I would like cry, and I just couldn't. Where are you? Where are you? Did you leave me? Like, I would know it of course it's not gone, but being around certain entities that are attached to certain people you are with, that's in your direct environment, will cause you to disconnect. It will create a disconnect because that person has such an evilness about them that it dominates you when you are in a low vibration, when you are in a low mindset, when your root chakra is shot to hell, when they're taking advantage of your sacral chakra, that right there, just draining the hell out of you. So I got another training to do. Okay. I'm gonna wrap this thing on up. That's me in my story with the chakras. Still working with them. I feel like it's a good way to get yourself organized, and it's a good way to focus. It's a good, and work on them work on them how you want to work on them. And there's no order to them. That's another thing too. Like, even though it show like an order, you can work on them in any order you want. Work on where you feel like you need to work the most. Need the most work. And then you start to align. It's like the dots connect, you know. Now Kundalini, I've never experienced it. I don't think I want to. I'm not ready for that. And maybe I have in a way. I don't know, but I'm not. That's not the goal for me right now. You know, I'm not ready for nothing for that. I feel from what I've read, it's very intense, and people act like they just do it every day or something. And I'm like, from what I understand, to have a Kundalini, you can't do that every day. Anyway, I'm not gonna get off into that because I might not know what I'm talking about. All I know is, from me, a Kundalini, when all the energy points have perfectly aligned, and you having this Kundalini experience, it seems to me it would be very intense, and it seems it would take great meditation, great purification of the body, you know, toxins and stuff like that, fasting and stuff like that, and that's not something you would just walk light on. It seems like it's very intense and heavy. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this on up. I hope I have given you a better understanding of the chakras. I'm still learning about them myself. I just feel like they're a really good way to organize different pains or traumas or things you want to heal and work on inside yourself in the great principles. And I also love the color variation, so I also practice color therapy. So if y'all ever see me in my colors, that's what I'm doing, especially with my wraps on my crown and things like that. All right, take it easy.